This poem is called Siri. New message from Mom. Have a great day. I'll call you later. Have fun at class. I love you. Sending message. Okay. It's always like this. She sends caring, thoughtful paragraphs. He speaks like the Hulk. But I know he calls Mom almost every day, like he just needs to hear her. Then he hangs up. New message from best friend. How are you holding up? Typing. 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 It's always like this. He wants to tell his friends everything. He hopes they will always be there, like family, but not like family. New message from Mom. Call me when you get a chance. Calling Mom. Before he hangs up, he does not tell her he loves her. He does not tell her he is unhappy. I know that he is. I have sent the messages. I have made the calls. 2:00 a.m., 3:00 a.m., 5:00 a.m. No one makes calls at 5:00 a.m. Who are you calling at 5:00 a.m.? No one will answer. No one is awake. New message from best friend. I really think you should talk to your family about some of this, or at least your mom. Why can't you? Typing. I'm not myself in my own home. My family doesn't actually know me. They talk to my shadow, the boy I leave behind. But I don't think I need them. I have the friends I've picked and kept and clung to. I'm comfortable with them. I'm not comfortable with my family, or I'm just scared to be. Do you want to send this message? No. Deleting message. Sending message. I just can't talk to them. I can't call my mom. Did you say call Mom? No! Canceling. Opening voicemails. He does not tell anyone. He still has ones from his dead father. He will not delete them. He will not delete dead grandparents' contact information. He will not delete anything. He is collecting memories and ghosts. Would you like me to search the internet for ghosts? Ghosts. Dead. Haunting. Not moving on. Never moving on. Never letting go. He never lets go. New message from best friend. Maybe it's hard to believe, but everyone does love you. I mean, your family loves you. I know your mom loves you. Just don't forget that, okay? Calling Mom.
Hey, welcome to... Oh, shit, that was loud. Hey, welcome to the Hide from Fire podcast, I guess. The only podcast guaranteed not to turn your son into some Hannah Gatsby spoken word faggot. What the fuck was that? Yeah, I know it was from a long time ago. It was from 2016, so it's almost 6 years ago. Sorry, 2014. 2016 would be 4 years ago. Anyway, yeah, I might be slightly drunk, or dyslexic, or stoned, or a combination of all three. Yeah, what the fuck was that? Seriously. Yeah, I just wanted to open with, like, yeah, I went to their fucking YouTube page and just downloaded a whole bunch of their videos before they blocked me. I think fuck, I'm wheezy. Oh, God. I went back on cigarettes again for, like, the last week. And, yeah, tonight I've decided, well, I smoked my last cigarette out of the packet I had, and I thought, I'll go back onto the vaping. And, yeah, this is where I'm at right now, where I've had a few hits from the vape, the fucking fag stick. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they say, because, God damn it, like, you go on, like, you vape for a while, and you can just pick up a cigarette and smoke a cigarette like it's nothing. But you don't vape for a while, and it hurts. It's like every time you go, like, if you don't vape for like a week. That was a piss week first burp to the podcast. Yeah, but you don't vape for like a week, and it's like the first time you ever hit a, like, it's like starting over again. It's like the first time you ever fucking, yeah, like did a vape. It's like that. Like you cough your guts up, you get chesty and that. Thank you. That's a more respectable burp. Yeah, it's like going from starting from scratch again. Yeah. Anyway, I'm like repeating myself. What's that, third time now? yeah, so I don't know which one's worse. I mean, they're both obviously bad for you. The vape seems to be better. Like everyone dying in the States and that from fucking popcorn lung or whatever. They're all getting these like dodgy fucking vapes. I buy all my, God, I fucking sound like such a fucking queef saying vapes over and over again, don't I? Yeah, but I get yeah, I get all mine from like, reputable, what I assume are reputable stores. They have fucking, ABNs, they have fucking business licenses and shit. They're renting, shops. So, it's as legitimate as you can get in a free market. I mean, buyer beware and all of that. But that's where I get my vapes from, and they seem pretty good. And, I just put my own fucking nicotine into it. Because unlike the US, here in Australia, if you don't, they can't sell the shit like pre-mixed with nicotine in it because that requires, well, you can't even get a tobacco license in Australia to do that. You can sell the e-liquids or whatever the fuck they're called. You can sell that shit, but you can't sell fucking, sorry. Yeah, you can't sell, you can't sell it with fucking, like nicotine in it, like if they were to, and what I noticed is I hadn't been in there in a while because, the fucking, you buy like a fucking bottle of the fucking, e-liquid, whatever the fuck it is called stuff, and it lasts like 6 months or whatever. So I hadn't been in there in a while, and I know they've been clamping down through the fucking laws here in South Australia, and I think all of Australia for that matter. And they've been clamping down on all that shit, and yeah, so I go in and like, instead of having the whole range up there where you can see on the shelf, oh, yeah, there's this one, there's this one, there's this one. And they used to have like basically menus, like laminated menus that would sit on the counters and that. And they're like two places that I go. One's near my work, one's near my home. And they would have these, laminated like menus telling you everything. And you could like, they had little like sampling like mini vape pens where they just like, had one preloaded with each flavor they sold. So they're like, yeah, just try this. I mean, it's going to taste different with nicotine in it or your nicotine in it. Blah, blah, blah. And you can give it a try. But now, like, all those menus are gone. All those little sample things are now gone. And, like, where they do have the fucking, like, they're all still on the shelf behind the counter. But now there are curtains over it. Like what they did with cigarettes here in Australia where, yeah, basically all the cigarette things, they're like they have like doors, like like sliding doors you would with like a wardrobe or whatever, like a built-in wardrobe. They have those like sliding doors are miniature, and they have them in all like anywhere that sells cigarettes, like supermarkets, service stations, delis, anything like that. They have fucking these sliding doors, so you can't see the cigarettes. You go up, you just see a cabinet behind the counter, and you go, oh, I assume that's where the cigarettes are. So you go up and you ask. Yeah, it's weird because they can have a list of, I guess some places do have a list or whatever. Yeah, but basically they can't advertise it in any way. You've got to know what you want and go up and get it. Which I guess makes sense because I guess that deters people if they're not really sure. I assume it would definitely deter like an underage me. Because, when I started smoking and, I started smoking like, 15, 16 or whatever it was. Years, a few years before I was legally allowed to buy them. But, I looked older. I've always been tall. Well, I'm not tall anymore as a man. I'm 6 foot, which, you know what, that shouldn't be tall, but it is. It really bothers me. I'm like 6'1", somewhere between that, something like that. Probably closer to 6 than I am 6'1", but yeah, I'm around 6 foot, which is like 181 centimeters. But yeah, for whatever reason, I still know my I only know my height and they in old school. Yeah, but I know both. I think it's I don't know. Like I've yet to. I don't talk to people who are like a lot younger than me. I don't talk to like teenagers or I don't people, even people in their early 20s, really, I don't talk to. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, everyone from, like, I don't know, 30, I guess, upwards that I'm aware of, says their height in, like, feet and inches. Like, I don't say I'm 181 centimeters, I say I'm 6 foot. Yeah, or 1.81 meters, whatever. Like, I don't say that, I say 6 feet. So, yeah, I forgot where I was fucking going with that. I've genuinely only had one fucking bong. And it was right before I started, well, it was right as I started playing the video of that fucking queef talking about his fucking iPhone Siri fucking thing. I had that for a while, and Jesus, I had an iPhone for a while. They were pretty good. Like, yeah, I don't I don't care. I'm not like one of these, Android all the way, or fucking, Apple all the way, or fucking, so Samsung's better. I don't fucking care. Like, yeah, I just use it for fucking I just use my phone for listening to shit, and yeah, that's about it. Like, even the camera's not important to me on a smartphone. All I need it for is internet access. I need it for what the internet was actually designed for, which is like access to the collective knowledge of mankind. That's all I care about. Like, basically, if I want to do anything more than that, I want to create something. That's what I have fucking the computer that I'm doing this on for. It's what I have, my laptop for. As far as my phone goes, nah. I just want it, like, as GPS. I just want it, like, yeah, it's the only one of my, I guess you'd call it devices or whatever, my electronic things, that I allow the GPS to be turned on, because it's the only one I use GPS on. Like, yeah, that vape is killing me. Anyway, yeah, I don't get these people who will fucking allow their laptop, the desktop is completely baffling, but people who will even allow their laptop to have fucking the device thing on, or they will even like hook it up to a foreign Wi-Fi. It's like, no, just whatever you need to look up. If it's like, a map or whatever, do that on your phone, and only have your fucking laptop accessing the internet when you're either at work or home to secure destinations, and, then run a VPN. Like, even running a VPN, which I do, even fucking streaming this. Yeah, even running a VPN, I wouldn't trust it at like a fucking, I don't know, whatever the fucking Australian equivalents of fucking Starbucks. I guess it's McDonald's, actually, now that I think about it, because they got the whole McCafe thing. And there are no Starbucks in Australia. That didn't take off. But for whatever reason, McDonald's coffee and Hungry Jack's, or as the Americans and I guess everyone else would call it, Burger King, they do their little, like, geez, I'm breathing really heavy, honey, I apologise. I'm going to take a hit from the vape. See if this makes it worse or better. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say worse. Yeah, anyway, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Starbucks not taking off. Yeah, I don't even remember. I was talking about coffee for some reason. And I was on cigarettes before that. And how I was taller for my age. And I was talking about the difference between, like, metric and imperial measurements as far as it goes to height. And then, like, yeah, I don't get people who don't understand what an inch is. That's where I think I was going. I don't know, but let's just go there anyway. Yeah, I don't get people who think, don't know, like, inches and feet. Because I don't use them for anything. Like, I guess it's because I have a trade. Because I work to actual measurements. And I understand, like, what a measurement is. I understand what tolerances are. That, you get as close to a measurement as you can. But, in different situations, different scenarios, you have different tolerances. So how close you have to get to said measurement varies. And, yeah, like, to me, like, anything I'm working on, like actually doing as my trade to earn money, it's all in millimeters and, fractions of millimeters, well, not even fractions of millimeters. You can put them into fractions, but I don't. 0.2 of a millimeter. It's like I need to be between 0.2 and 0.5 in either, I need to be like, in one direction. That's acceptable, blah, blah, blah. But, I know, like, I don't even know, like, yeah, like feet, like imperial is just rough measurements. You're like, oh, how long's a fucking sausage? I don't know. It's about 6-7 inches, I guess. Like, you have your, foot long hot dogs. That's a foot. So 12 inches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if someone said, how long is a fucking hot dog? You just put your hands apart and go, about that. And, it's about whatever, like that's the way I use feet. That's the way I use inches is like, no, yeah, it's about, move it over about an inch. Like, I'm not saying move it exactly 1 inch. I'm saying about. I don't say move it over about 24.5, millimeters. That's just, move it 20 mil. It just sounds weird. It's just an inch. Because what I'm saying is around 20 mil, I don't really care if it's, 30, 40 mil. Yeah, I don't care if it's 20 mil. I don't care if it's 40 mil. I don't care if it's 15 mil. Just move it approximately an inch. That's how I use it. I don't know why I'm going off on measurements. I think maybe it's because I've been working so much and I've done, basically nothing for the past few weeks other than work. That's really all that's been going on with my life lately. And I know it's been like, has it been a month? I think it might have been a month. And I said I was going to do last episode, I said, I'm going to do another episode tomorrow. And I think it could be less. I'm hoping it's less, but I think it's really pushing a fucking month ago. And that's not good. Anywho, should we what? Yeah, I know. Let's get into, should we get into the first story or should I get into some of the dash cam footage? You know what? Let's start off with the dashcam footage or should we start off with a story first? You know what? Let's start off with a story. Let's just mix it up for this episode and we'll, what do we got? Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's see if this loads and then I'll switch over to it. Okay. Okay, it might have loaded. Yabba yabba yabba. Okay, so let's, anyway, this story is from the Daily Caller. Like I said, all these stories are about a month old. I'm not going to throw these stories out. I already kind of wrote a description of the episode that I'm going to use for the episode. Basically, I already wrote it, so I'm going to use all the stories I got saved. And, the stories I got saved, you know what? Every time I promise I'm going to try to do better, I fail. And every time I say nothing about it, I just do better. So I'm going to say nothing. And, let's just keep going on. It's a report. Syrian refugee enrolled in Canadian high school sexually assaulted 14-year-old girl. Apparently there's a video. I hope it's not of it actually happening. I mean, that'd be great for evidence in, prosecuting. But I again hope that's not true. A 14-year-old Canadian girl was sexually assaulted at a high school dance. Okay. So, this is what the fuck is a Syrian refugee doing at a high school dance? Let's read on. 14-year-old Canadian girl was sexually assaulted at a high school dance by a Syrian refugee classmate. Okay, I stopped reading before a very crucial word. I'm not the smartest person, but I am honest. Who was allowed to return to class after a brief suspension. Because, it's got cultural differences and fucking all that shit. And, you can't fucking say that about him.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He should be treated as a superior, not an equal. He was allowed to return to class after a brief suspension, according to an investigation by a Canadian news outlet, The Rebel. Oh, okay, it was by The Rebel. I honestly thought for a second there was an organisation called Canadian News Outlet. And I just hit the microphone. And that wouldn't surprise me. Oh, it's a Canadian news outlet, eh? Oh, how about it? And so forth. Sorry, I've been listening to a lot of 2 Drink Minimum lately, so it's fucking screwed up my, my Canadian accent, because the fucking Montreal accent is completely different, but then again, I guess my accent would screw up somebody listening to this trying to do the Australian accent, because I don't have the, standard Australian, which is actually people from up north. The further north you go towards the equator in Australia, the more the accent sounds like, oh, now I'm just going all over the place, aren't I? Pippa, no. The alleged assault took place at a Federation High School in New Brunswick. Speaking on condition of autonomy. Okay, so she doesn't want to be named, obviously, because she doesn't want her daughter. But then again, I suppose people know what they know. The school, they know the high school in New Brunswick. They know the did I say Federation? Federation. See, Federation. Okay, I don't know who or what Federation is. Anyway. In Brunswick, speaking on condition of autonomy, doesn't want daughter to be known, but then again, we know where the high school is, so anyone who lives near there, I think you can spot the Syrian refugee. The girl's mother said 2 Syrian students attempted to grind with her daughter at the dance before one of them began groping her breasts and forced his hand inside her underwear, touching her vagina.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Right, so this like, it's who the Daily Caller reports on this. Like, if this was a white student doing it to a girl in a hijab, it would have made ABC, SBS, government funded news in Australia. But because it's the opposite of that, it's a fucking refugee touching. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and assume. No, you know what? Let's not assume. It's a black girl. There are plenty of black people they're right next to America. Of course there are plenty of blacks. So let's just assume it's a black or a Greek girl. Doesn't matter. Anyway, students grind on her before one of them began groping her breast by touching her underwear and, the vagina. Because, that's how they come over here, is just like, they just assume because their parents get everything handed to them by the government that everything here is free. And, I don't know. Is it the way fucking some people, seem to look at, Europe? Where they think all the women are just, free and open and just want to fuck all the time or whatever? Because even if that's the case, then you don't need to go up to a woman and do that. If you're in a land full of sluts, there's no sexual harassment because they're sluts. They're coming up to you. That's what makes them sluts. So if you think she's a slut, then just sit back and wait because she's a slut. Yeah, this is backward logic. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't hold up when you actually think about it because these people don't think she's a slut. They're rapists. Completely different mentality. Anyway, touching her vagina. Yeah, they just have this mentality where they can, like their parents, they think they can just take whatever they want from the country.
He took my toy. She hit my bell.
And they think they're hard done by.
I want a cookie. I want to stay up. I want me. Mine. Now.
Documents obtained by the rebel in a Freedom of Information request. See, that's where they had to go, even though this is from a Canadian source, a Rebel Canada, I guess. Well, that's where, what's her name, Lauren Sullivan, it was from. So even though it was that, the school, and obviously the mother wants to protect her daughter, so she has to protect her own identity, but she's out there talking about it because she wants people to know about it. But right, so she's willing to give them everything. So she's given them the name of the students, the name of the school, the name of the teachers involved, and they've called up the school, and the school's obviously just said no comment, and is what I'm assuming without reading on. You're probably reading on as I talk, but I'm not looking at the thing as I talk. I'm looking at anyway. They've probably come out and asked for all this shit, and the school's just said no comment, we declined to comment, blah, blah, blah. So they've had to go to the trouble of getting a Freedom of Information Act, which I'm guessing is access to the police reports, because obviously the mother reported it as a crime. As well she fucking should. That's what I didn't get about all these universities, colleges, these fucking big businesses like that, where they're oh, there was this, a sexual harassment claim to, Human Resources Department. And we at Human Resources, well, we investigated and we found there was not enough corroborating evidence, so we put the person in question on suspension while we investigated, and the board met, and it's hang on, either a crime happened, because, I don't think I'm talking crazy here or anything, but isn't, sexual assault, isn't rape, isn't like, unwanted groping. It's a crime, right? Like, it's illegal. So why go to HR to begin with? Why not go to the police? And that's where all this shit, that's where this shit really bothers me. Like, if that actually happened, your daughter comes home and tells you that this fucking horrific act, that two fucking rubby-dubs, that two fucking mono-browed fucking mongoloids were fucking grabbing her and groping her at a fucking school dance. Why the fuck would you call the school? Why wouldn't you go straight to the fucking police and go, this is what happens when a guy touches you and it's unwarranted. This happened, right? Yes. Okay, this is what we do. This is how society works. This is why we pay taxes. It's not to go to the fucking school. It's not to go to your fucking the campus police or university campus police. It's not to go to the fucking HR department. No, you go to the police. This is why police exist. This is why we pay fucking taxes to pay for the fucking police. This is their job. This is not the job of somebody at your job, unless of course you're a police officer. Then we're going around in circles. Right, so that's the first thing you do, and that's exactly what this mother has done. Documents here. Robin Allen, the school's vice principal, admitted in an email to school employees that, quote, Robin Allen, oh God, you faggot queef chode, ugh. You fucking wannabe Trudeau. I fucking guarantee it. Just sucking on my pussy stick. Oh. Anyway, where is this? Robert Allen. Oh my God, the school's vice principal admitted to school employees that, look, okay, we've had a few instances of inappropriate touching and sexual assault with foreign students, and noted that working with a translator helped us a lot in the spring. So I don't know when this was and what the fucking seasons are. I don't know. I don't even know what they are to reverse them. I don't know what they were at the time of this happened here in Australia, so I don't know how to reverse them for the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not a fucking farmer. That probably explains why any vegetables I try to grow and, shit just dies, and then suddenly, I've got cherries on a cherry tree at the moment. It just seems to happen this time of year. It's a fully grown tree when I moved here, so, yeah, that's good. But, the chili and capsicum plants, well, I've gotten tiny little capsicums off it, and the chilies have been going alright, but all I do is water the fucking thing, and that's it. And they just grow when they grow. They don't grow when they don't grow. I don't know. Every now and again, I get chilies. Anywho, Robin Allen, we're going on. It helped him a lot in the spring, working with a translator. Now, see, this is the thing about incompatible cultures. You shouldn't need a translator. Like, if I head over to China, I'm not just going to start walking around, if I head over to, Japan. Okay, I changed Asian country because I realized where I was going with that and I got the reference wrong. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, if I head to Japan, being a large man, I am not going to just, being a large white man, I'm just not just going to start walking around kicking people and grabbing women. Like I'm Godzilla. Oh, I'm not going to be in the fucking airport like Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball. He gets to the airport and he's just, God, why is this movie in my head? Anyway, he gets to the airport and it's a really funny scene because he's like, a 6'2" fucking, white American guy, and he's in Tokyo airport and he's like head and shoulders above everybody. And, it's just really funny. I've come to a country that's full of people who are statistically, shorter than me. And, it's just a visual gag. I don't think he fucking says anything racist or whatever. I don't know. Why the fuck am I defending Mr. Baseball? It is what it fucking is. It's a fucking 80s, 90s movie. Anywho, I'm not going to go to Japan and think because I'm bigger than the average person that gives me the right to just start groping or whatever. Plus karate and ninja shit. So, I don't want to offend anybody's honor. Is that where I was going with that? Yeah, but so what? I don't need exactly. That's where I was going. I don't need a translator to tell me don't rape in Japan. I don't need a translator to tell me don't rape in Africa. In fact, I don't need a translator in any language to tell me not to rape. It just kind of goes without saying. You know, if you weren't brought up in a culture that's full of shitty people teaching people how to be shitty, which is exactly where this fucking... where the fuck are they from? Syrian? Some Syrian, Sudan, Congo, some shithole country. How do you know it's shit? You can't drink the tap water. It's a shithole country. People have to be taught not to rape by teachers at school, not by their parents at home. Shitty country. And I'm sure the actual country, as far as a landmass and like they're within borders are concerned, fine. There's nothing shitty. They've got all the resources and all that. They get shitty culture. And that's what makes a shitty country. You put a shit, you take fucking Western culture out of Australia and replace it with Islamic culture, Australia becomes a shitty country. Becomes a shitty third at best. Well, it'll become a shitty second world country and then a shitty third world country. Anywho, another vice principal. How many fucking vice principals? I don't know. See, this is all just fucking I guarantee this is a fucking, it's got the fucking Syrian refugee students. So I guarantee it's a public school. It's all government employees. It can't be fired. So all they do is just move. I guarantee they've probably got, there's a principal and there's probably 5 co-principals and then there's 18 fucking vice principals who all occupy one building just sitting around trying to reword shit and coming up with gender pronoun shit to justify their own existences when they're not on holidays. That's all this is. It's let's hire 15 people to do the job of one. That's why in Canada they've legalized marijuana, but only the government can sell it and they're losing money. They've got people lined around the block trying to buy from dispensaries, government-run dispensaries, and they're losing money on every sale. Even though the demand far outweighs the supply, they're losing money. These people are... This is government workers in a nutshell. These people are fucking idiots. So where was I? Another vice principal, Elaine Killifan. Yeah, Killifan. Okay. Killifan. Yeah, it's probably it could be some French Canadian thing. Elaine Killifan. Elaine Killifan. Is that even French? How the hell can I not do it? It is Elaine Killifan. Elaine Killifan. You see, that doesn't even sound French to me. I was trying to do the fucking suave fucking, what do you call it? South American accent, and now I think I fucked up my French. I was doing the, hola, my name is... See, even that, I'm fucking up right now. Why am I fucking up accents? As soon as I go on mic, I was fucking around with accents, listening to, whether it, I come to your country. See, it not sound right. Hola, my name is Miguel. I come to your country in search of the finest avocado to make my guacamole. Ding dong. Anyway. Elaine Killifan. Elaine Killifan. Na's getting a lot here. I'm sounding like Chekhov. Captain, I cannot turn away from the purser. Anyway. God, why am I doing the new Chekhov? The nuclear whistle. Anyway, worried that the alleged attacker... Oh, Jesus Christ. So this is where it gets fucking insane. Yeah, the other vice principal worried that the alleged attacker... And see, this is what I mean about government workers. And anyone who says that the government sector doesn't have this fucking social justice, hard left bias. Fucking... This is Canada. This is not far off Australia. We have extremely similar laws. They're just implemented differently, but we have the same fucking laws. Anyway, the vice principal, Elaine Killifan, worried that the alleged attacker, quote, will become a target in our student population once the rumour mill gets going. The girl was like, holy shit. Do you know how fucking evil that is? The students who basically raped this girl, I mean, this... I know it's not rape, but fucking hell, if they're doing this at fucking, what I assume is 14, what are they going to be doing 4 years from now at 18, unless they get their heads fucking bashed in for doing this now? It's how you learn. Everybody fumbles around at that age. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody might take it a little too far, push boundaries, and you get told no, and it's all a learning experience. Like, this Elaine Killerfane, Killerfane, let's call her Elaine Killerfane. Fuck it, it rhymes. This fucking dumb bitch, I guarantee, was on her fucking social media, on her Instagram, on her Facebook or whatever, talking about, like, you know, the US or the fucking Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh cannot be allowed. I guarantee this bitch was all about fucking bring down Kavanaugh. Harvey Weinstein, Louis C.K. He's such a pig. Everything he did, me. Like, I guarantee. And then when it comes to a fucking refugee black Muslim kid doing worse, because in all those cases, I'm not talking about like Cosby or anything here. I'm talking about, like, you know, fucking Louis C.K. who asked permission. It was consenting. Even Harvey Weinstein, it was all consenting. Yeah, he said, you know, if you want this role, fucking blow me or whatever. But they had to agree to it. All it would have meant is that right now, nobody would know who fucking the Hunger Game chick is. Like, yeah, she sucked and fucked Harvey Weinstein to get the Hunger Games. Yeah, and then, like, photos of her with fucking jizz on her face came. Like, she's a whore. Who gives a shit? She clearly wasn't fucking taken advantage of. She's a straight up whore. And, you know, like, fucking Alyssa Milano, who fucking, Jesus Christ, her history is insane. Her fucking dad made basically a softcore porno exercise tape when she was 16, with her. Like, and it was filmed by her father, and it is just all fucking box shots. It is all box shots, it's all cleavage, it's all fucking, you know, yeah, it's just all clam and cleave. Like, that's like this whole thing, and there's like another chick with her, a black chick, so, you know, you can't call him racist, I guess. But, like, you look at it, and you're like, holy shit, that is, like, wildly inappropriate, like, you know, for a 16, like, first of all, if you're gonna, like, you know, show these, what can be viewed as provocative poses, use an adult. Use a 21-year-old woman, or whatever. You know, because, like, you know, a 16, 15-year-old girl can still watch that and go, oh, yeah, this is what you do. These are, like, it's an exercise video. You don't need underage people teaching exercise. It just doesn't make sense. But, yeah, anyway, fucking Alyssa Milano dad makes this wildly inappropriate fucking video. And where was I going with that? Yeah, and, you know, anyway, she ends up fucking blowing Harvey Weinstein so she can pretend to be a witch on a TV show. Right, she sucked a fucking fat Jew's cock so she could pretend to have magic. That's the Alyssa Milano story. She's fucking born-raised whore. Like, you know, her mother tried to pull down all the smutty shit off her off the internet, and yeah, anyway. Like, you know, these are the people who are going after Harvey Weinstein. Like, you know, these women that willingly fucked him. Because so what? Alyssa Milano doesn't get to be on Charmed. Fucking Jennifer Lawrence doesn't get to be fucking the Hunger Games chick. So fucking what? You know, if you're actually a skilled actor, you're a skilled performer, you're like, you know, who gives a shit? The only people who have to fucking, yeah, basically suck a fucking fat Jew's dick. And not a fat Jew dick, by the way. A fat Jew's dick. The only people who have to suck a fat Jew's dick to get into movies are the people who can't get there on their own. Like, you know, fucking... I'm sure fucking Leonardo DiCaprio was taken advantage of because there's all those creepy fucking videos of his old manager, and I think he went away, or one of the guys who was around him at the start ended up going away for being a pedo ass or whatever. But he got to where he is on his own merit. Tom Hanks gets to where he is, like, you know, And I'm sure they turned a blind eye to all the creepy shit if none of it happened to them. Just like Meryl Streep, I'm sure like she got to where she was on her own merit. She just turns a blind eye away from the creepy shit. They all do, but the point is, you don't need to fucking, suck a fat Jew's dick to get on television. You can just be good enough to get on television. Like, seriously, if you're that distraught and that upset, why do it? B, why not say no? And yeah, B, well, A, why do it is the big one. If you find it that upsetting, why would you do it? And why would you honestly believe this one person is some kind of gatekeeper? And that's the thing about the left. They're all about gatekeepers. They're all about gatekeeping. So when someone says that Harvey Weinstein is the only way you're going to get into Hollywood, they believe it because they want it. They want, the fucking ABC here in Australia, SBS here in Australia. They want fucking BBC in fucking England. They want fucking, CNN in fucking America. They want those people to be the gatekeepers of information because that's their mentality. They want a hierarchy. They want, they say they're against all this shit, but they want a hierarchy. They want there to be unified control, and they want that control to be out of their hands and just be in the hands of people they can follow and people they can agree with, because those people tell them, here's why. It's very fucking 1940s Germany, the way these people think and the way these people want to be led. And that's it. Yeah, the alleged attacker, who denied any contact with the girl beyond just dancing, is reported back at school after being suspended for 1 week while the girl was undergoing therapy in order to cope with the incident, the girl's mother said. Now, I guarantee, Mattress Girl and fucking that Leah Dunham and that, these chicks who lied about being raped, lied about being sexually assaulted, they were plastered all over the news. Now, you could say that, maybe the fucking news is getting better at backing off on this shit. Bullshit. If the alleged attacker, I have to say, if the alleged attacker was white, it would be a fucking, completely fucking different story. I guarantee it. Anyway, the girl's mother said the criminal line for yeah, so the fucking school, the actual school, okay, is this someone talking about it? Yeah, well, this isn't. Yeah, so what I'm basically saying is, the actual school is fucking saying, don't report it to the police. Because that's another story I read, that the email was something more like, don't go to the police, don't do this, you're going to hurt these kids' reputation, it's going to make all refugees look bad. Dude, if fucking 20% of them end up being rapists, then yeah, they deserve to look bad. There's believe all women and men must do better shit. They had that here in Australia when some fucking chick got fucking raped and killed in the fucking park in Melbourne. Horrific thing. Yeah, the police chief, the Victorian police chief, goes on fucking national television and radio and shit. He's like, all men need to, do better and need to look out for women, and this is a responsibility of all men to make sure things like this don't happen. Then it turns out the guy who raped and murdered her was a homeless person, a crazy drug addict, a fucking ice addict, a fucking hobo, and suddenly they all shut the fuck up about it and moved on like that woman never existed. Suddenly her death and therefore her life meant nothing to them, because it would mean saying it's the fault of fucking drugs, it's the fault of fucking deadbeats, it's the fault of this failed welfare state we've tried to implement. Basically, our progressive horseshit policies created a situation in which this could happen, and as soon as that was fucking apparent, as it almost always turns out to be, they like to paint this picture that it's all fucking, working class white men who are going around beating and raping women. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's the fucking opposite. It's always, whenever somebody's beaten, whenever somebody gets their head kicked in, whenever somebody gets raped, whenever somebody's there's a murder, it's always a welfare class person. I can pull up crimes for the local area like I used to do on my last podcast, the local rag, which I might be floating around the internet somewhere. But it's always when you have these fucking just shit cunt dirtbag crimes, it's always, if they arrest the person, it's the description always says, at the end, because it usually says where the person's from. It says where the crime happened, and it usually says where the perpetrator, where they live. And it's always with these dirtbag crimes, like fucking petty theft, rape, and, I'm not comparing the two, but these just scumbag sexual assault crimes, it's always a guy of no fixed address. Meaning he's couch surfing, he's homeless. Yeah, the guy's living on welfare. All he has to his name is like probably a bank card that he goes to the ATM and gets his fucking dole payments out as soon as they come in, and the rest of the time just steals from and hurts people to get by because he's a piece of shit. But hey, let's keep giving that piece of shit money. Some people say, well, if you stop giving him money, then the less they have, the more likely they are to steal. No. The more we give them, the more they feel they deserve. And the more schools pump this fucking socialist ideology into kids. Like, your neighbor comes home with a fucking, new Mercedes. You shouldn't look at that and say, wow, that's awesome. How did he do that? I'm going to go up and ask him, hey, how did you get that? Like, what did you do to earn, what were the steps you put in place where you could afford to buy a brand new Mercedes? No, the teachers, the school, the ABC, SBS, they want you to look at that and go, that's not fair, that's excess wealth. They should take the money he used for that, he should have kept his old car, and he should have split that money with me to a percentage and given it to basically, you shouldn't be allowed to buy nice things. You should be allowed to give away your money so the government can decide to what to do with it. It's fucking insane. Anyway, let's just see what the Rebel has to say. Jesus, 10 minutes. You know what? Let's not see what the Rebel has to say. There's nothing against the Rebel. I'm just not going to spend another 10 minutes on this story because, this story's gone on long enough. And you know what? I think it is time for the, here we go. Yeah, before we get to the next story. And there's a few to get to. How are we going for time? Yeah, well, I don't really know how we're going for time. We're just going as long as we go. Oh, shit. So let's go into... let's go into some dash cam footage from the last, basically 3 weeks, month, or whatever it is. Okay, here we go. Right, so, I remember this. Yeah, okay, kid riding on a bike. Now look at this. Now, can you see there's the cunt on the bike right ahead. Now, he's wearing a backpack, he's got a blue helmet, and that yellow blondish looking thing poking up from the top of his backpack, that is not a yellow blondish helmet, that is the color of his child's hair. Yeah, as we can see here, it's a bit more easy to see. But basically, this fucking hippie faggot is riding home from school with one of his kids, and he's got the youngest one on some fucking gay as fuck fucking Explorer fucking Caribbee backpack with his fucking retro fucking, fucking sleek, updated fucking... I own several Frisbees and hacky sacks fucking stack hat styled helmet. What a fucking chode. Right, so no helmet on his kid. So all he has to do is fall off. And I think he's going to come up again here. I got ahead of him and wherever the fuck he is. Yep. Now, let's just go back a couple of seconds there. And we'll see when he... Yeah. Right there. Now, that is... Yeah. That's his fucking young child whose hands are fucking... Yeah, he or she, can't tell, has got his or her hands inside the backpack. Like, they're tucked over inside the backpack instead of holding onto her father, or his or her father, because obviously the air blowing on it is cold. Like, this was not a particularly warm day. It was, it's leading up to summer. It's technically summer as I stream and record this. Yeah, it's, well, what are we on, like the 2nd or... What the fuck is the date today? I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but... Yeah, okay, we're officially into summer. And, yeah, this is, this kid is clearly just hiding his or her... I want to say her, but no way of fucking knowing. Look at the fucking shirt this cunt's wearing in cargo fucking green cargo pants. Jesus Christ, and a fucking long hair oh, Jesus, poor fucking kid. Poor fucking child. Yeah, and he's got his son wearing the same helmet that he wears, and they're riding together. God, do you know how embarrassing that would be? See, this is what I mean about the pussification of fucking, the West, and Australia in particular, because that's where I'm speaking from, and that's my vantage point, but this just absolute pussification where this kid is riding home from school with his dad. Now, at his age, I was riding my bike home from school, no problem. But I didn't have my fucking mum or my dad there with me. Mum is super embarrassing. Dad is actually worse. Because you get off school at like 3:30, 4, around 3:30, like maybe 4 or whatever. To have your fucking, although I don't know when I was... No, this might come from a day where I knocked off early for some reason to go to a bank or something. Maybe. Anyway. But, yeah, even if they were even if it's fucking 4:30 or whatever, just the fact that your dad's around, to pick you up from school, I would have found that so fucking embarrassing. Yeah, my dad's such a pussy, he's home before, he gets home before I get home from school. And of course, these kids probably don't see anything wrong with it. Because they're being brought up that, yeah, you don't have to work. Oh, what if it's his mum who's, not home? And he's fucking, oh, you know what, that's what it might be. The mum's not home. And this fucking hippie dad cunt. Oh, he's some kind of fucking artist or some shit. I think I'm coming, yeah, here we go. We're coming up there at the lights here. Here we fucking go. Look at this pack of queefs. Look at them. They got the fucking modern bikes with those horseshit fat tires for whatever reason. These new age fucking mountain bikes. They got their fucking... Oh, God, he's wearing his fucking shorts and his faggy... And he's got his kid. That's the main thing here. These fucking... Everything we do is so good for everything. He's got his kid with no fucking helmet. If he... fuck if he gets cleaned up by a car. If he just falls over, his child is more than likely going to have fucking severe fucking brain trauma. But hey, it's better for the environment. And not that I'm saying that you can't do this with a child, but put a fucking helmet on it for Christ's sakes. You fucking asshole.
That's what the bloody Marxists always say.
That's right, Dr. Peterson. They would always say that because the helmets are made of plastic, so the less helmets you use, the better. Fucking queer faggots. Yeah, look at this chode. What a fucking arsehole. And he's wearing some kind of gay fuck floral shirt. And there you can see his kid. He's pulled the hands back up because they're not moving anymore. And yeah, look at him and his son are fucking tanned as fuck. He's some surfy fucking hippie faggot. Yeah, I guarantee if they're both boys, one of them is named Brody. Yeah, man. And he refers to them as grommets. Oh, what a faggot. What a queef. Alright, let's go ahead with this video. Oh yeah, and that's, and then after these fucking chodes, traffic slows down. Why? Another crash on Marion Road. There's always a fucking crash on Marion Road. Can people just learn to fucking drive? Yep. It's a shit road. There's constant stop-starts. And I forget why I saved this one. Oh yeah, they just like those cars are both drivable. Pull them up to the side of the road and then do all this shit. No, we'll have an emergency vehicle stop and we'll wait exactly where the crash happened. Like, who gives a shit? Like, you know, I'm filming this. We live in the age of fucking dash cameras. So you don't need, one of you's got it on film. Just fucking get your cars off the road. Like, anytime I've been in a bingle, and this is before, like, and it hasn't happened since dash cams, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, knock on wood or whatever, I don't give a shit. But you pull your car off to the side, if it can be pulled off to the side. You know, you get your cars off the road at happen. You get them onto some kind of side street, or you at least get them out of the point of obstructing traffic. But no, not these people. Wherever it happens, everybody goes around me. I'll put on my hazard lights. I'm surprised these faggots didn't pull out cones and set them up around and just start fucking telling everyone to stop and pay attention because something traumatic has happened to me. Oh, God, people are so fucking gay nowadays. Right, I got another video as well. Yeah, once I find this other fucking video. Yeah, okay, so this happened, this video happened when I was, out doing a, what was I doing? I was going to pick up some fucking, what was I picking up? Steel bands or something like that, for work, and, yeah, I didn't have that much on of actual work, and I drive a ute, so, well, I said, hey, you go pick these things up instead of us getting them, like, you know, put on a truck and brought here, because, you know, you've got the time. I'm like, yeah, why not? Now, as one of the fucking pro-union faggots I work with would say, they're not faggots, I just, you know, they're clearly pro-union, so I refer to them as faggots. Yeah, it's just an all-encompassing term. Oh, so did you get petrol money for that? No, I didn't. Oh, what? You know, the boss didn't even offer you petrol money? No, he did. I turned it down. Holy shit, you should have seen the look on this guy's face. Like, he genuinely couldn't comprehend it. But, you know, petrol costs money and you used your own personal car for work purposes, so you should be... You need to, like, you know, get either money or you need to claim... Why? How about I just did it and I put petrol in slightly sooner than I would have otherwise? Why do I give a shit? It's fuck all. No, but, you know, these are the same people, like, oh, it's like, oh, we're out of coffee. So I'll, like, head over to the servo and buy coffee. Oh, did you get a receipt? You need to get a receipt so you can get your money back. It's like, it was a fucking $15 jar of coffee. I'm not asking for $15 back. That's just petty. Oh, you go and get milk. Oh, yeah, I went and got milk. Did you get a receipt? No, I didn't get a receipt. It was like $5 worth of milk. I'm not getting a receipt and asking to be reimbursed $5. That's embarrassing. That makes me look petty. That makes me look weak. But hey, I'm an anomaly in this world. In the words of fucking Eminem in the song My Dad's Gone Crazy, am I the only person who's fucking normal anymore? Yeah, okay, we'll go into this other video. Yeah, this is when I was out on a out on a delivery. Oh, we got sound. Do we really need sound? Not really. Now, where was it? Yeah, so here I am coming. Oh, there it is. Okay, now what you will notice in the far right of your screen is a building with a sign. Before, I guess. Yeah, you will notice as you go to the right of your screen, you will notice a gum tree. On the medium strip, then you will notice the other lane of the other two lanes of road. You will notice a sign in front of a building, and you will notice a crazy tranny, a batshit crazy transgender person. Let's go on. You can hear him yelling. Here we go. Yep, now we can see is a bit of a reflection, but he's just yelling, and he's yelling, this is my place, and he's yelling at the, I I believe it's like a bar or something next door. This is my fucking place. Everything in there is fucking mine. And it is like full-blown like GameStop Macho Man tranny savage. This is starting to scare me about fucking like Adelaide. Like even like in Onkaparinga, which is like, you know, way south of Adelaide where I live. I've seen a couple of trannies around. I've seen a couple of fucking Antifa looking fucking queefs walking around. And I'm not fucking happy. I'll tell you that much. And seeing this shit near where I fucking work, admittedly, it's right near, it's in between Adelaide and Adelaide Airport. I'll give it that. So if you're going to see it anywhere, it's going to be here. I'm still not fucking happy about it. Because this is fucking horse shit. Oh, transgenders are just... No, they're fucking not. They stand on the street screaming at people because they're fucking insane. That's why he thinks she's a she. Because he's fucking insane. See, this is why I don't go into the city anymore.
Street. There's racists everywhere, misogynist.
Let's keep watching this tranny faggot. Yeah, there he is, just swinging on this pole. Like, fucked out of his head. And then, yeah. Yeah, and I had everything filming on the way back. Oh, by the way, oh, shit, that ended. Yeah, by the way, what I did there, completely illegal in Australia. So let's just, whatever the statute of limitations is for like, traffic offences in Australia, that's how long ago that video was recorded. Because what I did there, even though I was completely stationary at the time, how I turned my camera, and yeah, just that act of grabbing my fucking, like, the mount that my GoPro's on and rotating the GoPro, that is completely illegal in the state of South Australia. That is touching a mobile device or a fucking whatever whilst driving. Like, you can't even, like, if I have my fucking, like, you know, phone, like, you have a GPS in your car. If you hit any button on that while you're on the street, while you're anywhere, stopped at a light, doesn't matter. If you even touch that thing, fuck, if they catch you even thinking about, and I'm sure they'd try, like, if they catch you even, they think looking at any fucking screen, even though these screens are built into cars now, they will try to give you a fucking fine. What I did there was completely illegal. And, you know, the fact that it's completely illegal is completely fucking horseshit. Okay, what's our next thing? Police review policies for new marriages. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is let's go to this, because, yeah, I'm guessing an actual feel-good story. Police to review policies as footage emerges of bikie attacking child sex offender in watch house. CCTV footage of the assault was posted on social media, ABC News. South Australian Police, SA Police, is reviewing its security practices as CCTV footage of a bikie attacking a child sex offender in an Adelaide City watch house is posted online. Whoever posted this, good for you. Let's watch it. Okay, here comes the bikie. There's the pedo. Nice. Let's go back. Nice. Let's go back. Hang on. Let's go right back. Look at this. Oh, I'm done. Look, he's even got the towel in his hand to try and... Oh, this is awesome. This wog cunt. Bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Oh, he's fucking him up. These are all headshots. He knows exactly how to bash a cunt in the corner. And here comes the fucking pepper spray. And, oh, jeez, how many did he get in before the pepper spray took effect? 1, 2, 3. Oh, he got 4 in. He got at least 3 hits after being sprayed. Fuck yeah. No. Look at this cunt. He's getting up and he's fucking rubbing his face. Yeah, he's getting on the ground. Oh, God, it's some fucking dyke. Yeah, some bulldog bitch. See, a man would have let that happen. But no, this fucking... I guarantee... Yeah, this fucking bulldog lesbian... Don't attack him. You're not allowed to do that.
It doesn't matter that you don't agree. He has his own sexual preferences and the court of law will decide.
Because she's part of the fucking LBGTQ and they want to add the fucking P for pedo brigade. I guarantee that's why this fucking happened. That's why she pepper sprayed him instead of just fucking letting him just fuck the cunt up. Why wouldn't you? Like, he only got in about fucking 15 or so fucking hits before you pepper sprayed him. He didn't even make 20. Like, gee, that's it. Like, you know, you think fucking 15, you think 14, 15 punches to the head is too much for a child sex offender? You disgusting bulldyke. Rebels bikie member Bradley Daniele, Bradley Daniele, posted the footage to social media of him allegedly attacking. He posted it to social media. Fucking A. This guy's getting more awesome by the fucking sentence. On Tuesday morning, confirmed a 26-year-old man from Mawson's Lake has been reported for the assault which took place at the Adelaide City Watch House in April. In the footage, a man can be seen showering in a cubicle before he is confronted and assaulted by another man. After about 20 seconds, a police officer walks into the room and deploys pepper spray into the shower cubicle in a bid to stop the attack. Yeah, this fucking bulldyke in a men's shower. Why can't they send in a man? Oh, because all the men are off doing the actual police work. You useless bitches. Police on Tuesday morning said the victim did not require medical treatment and, as the matter was before the courts, could not provide any further information. South Australian Police Commissioner Grant Stevens explained how the footage made its way onto Daniele's social media page.
I can say we provided a copy of that footage to his solicitor yesterday as we were required to do so,
He told ABC Radio Adelaide.
So I suppose you can sort of link the dots in terms of how it found its way to social media. The consequences of that, once they have possession of that, they're essentially allowed to do with it as they choose. Oh no! We don't want the pedophiles getting a bad name.
You faggot fucking ABC loving faggot. Yes, I said faggot twice. It's ABC related. They deserve it. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, and this is from the ABC. They're like, you know, we're not... this would be normal practice, blah, blah, blah. We're looking into whether there has not been offences committed in uploading the footage, despite what you might call a private act, someone showering. They're trying everything they can do to protect the pedophile because it's the ABC. Like, these are the people who used to fawn over Rolf Harris. Like, people like Rolf Harris, people like Jimmy Savile. These, like, oh my God, they used to have these, like, fucking movie review shows and, like, that Mark Fennell, I think that movie guy faggot. These people love pedowood. So when they see something like this, they see one of their heroes, like one of their fucking, oh God, like a Steven Spielberg or a Harvey Weinstein or a fucking, God, who was the one that fucking Tarantino and all those fucking faggots defended? I can't fucking remember. The one who fucking, like, you know, raped a 12-year-old and she had to go to hospital to have a fucking asshole stitched up because he because he drugged and, like, and it wasn't Cosby, it was fucking Polanski, Roman Polanski. These are the fucking kind of people that, you know, ABC employees worship. They love. So when they see a fucking pedophile getting fucking the business, when they see a pedophile getting taken down, it pisses them off, it scares them, and it annoys them. Because this is just the way artists are. And you have to separate the art from the artist. And everything's about the artist. Hang on, excuse me, I just have to adjust my horn frame red glasses as I adjust my scarf and my giant wooden necklace that was made by a tribe in West Papua. I'm cultured. Like, these people are just, they're just human queefs. That's all they are. We are looking into whether blah, 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 follow this story. as it goes, yeah, how about we fucking don't? How about we don't follow that fucking story? Because, yeah, good, a pedophile got attacked. And all they're concerned about is how they can fucking... Yeah, all these people are concerned about is how they can hurt the person who attacked the pedophile, because God forbid... Oh, sorry, you can't say God forbid with these people, can you? Of course not. They're insane fucking... hard left fucking militant... fucking evangelical left militant atheists. Like, leftism is their religion. To say God forbid, ooh, they don't like that. It's Gaia. It's Mother Nature forbid. It's some fucking meaningless horseshit forbid. Yeah, that one of their own get taken down. Ugh, an evil bikie. Look at him. He's with his white male privilege. Touching on someone who's clearly, I don't know anything about him, but just based on his crimes, a misunderstood artist. This is the kind of people we need to be taking money from the working class and giving to so they can express themselves properly. And perhaps they wouldn't commit these crimes. Perhaps if we allowed them access to mind-altering narcotics, they wouldn't commit these crimes. Yeah, that's what they're pushing after another fucking dumb fuck teenager this week decided to do like fucking cocaine, MDMA, and some other fucking hard drug all at the same time in like a fucking cocktail, dropped dead at a music festival. And of course, it's the fault of people like me. It's the fault of the working class for not giving up enough of our paycheck each week so that these people can have pill testing, or so these people can have more fucking government-funded counsellors and shit on hand, because that's going to make any fucking difference. But no, it's all the fault of people like me, because we are just unwilling, we just aren't forced to give up enough of our paycheck to go towards the welfare class, to go towards university students. By the way, this person was 22. This was not a young person. No, 24 even. Somewhere between 22 and 24. This is not a young person. This is a grown-ass fucking man. 21, I was a qualified fitter and turner. So don't give me this young people shit. They are not young people. They are grown-ass fucking adults. They can walk into a pub and legally buy a beer. That is not a young person. That is a grown-ass man. That is a grown-ass fucking woman. Deal with it, accept it. If you want to fucking say that your kid is a fucking baby until he's 25, then you need to push to have fucking, drinking and voting. Voting has to go along with that. You have to push to get those ages up to 25, because your baby is still a baby at 25, correct? I mean, you don't want your baby voting. Voting's for adults. But that's the thing. They want to drop the fucking voting age. And I guarantee they want to push up the drinking age. Like, let's make drinking should be 21. What about voting? Well, that should be 16. So you're smart enough to vote for who should lead the country, but you're not smart enough to know whether or not you should drink another beer. Exactly, because they just don't know. They're young people. They're not adults. Well, if they're young people and they're not adults, and they shouldn't be voting. No, but here's the thing: they want voting to go down, and they want drinking to go up, because they just want everything to be about fucking drugs. I guarantee the Greens don't want fucking, they'd want alcohol to go up to 21. They don't want let's legalize marijuana or make that 21 or even 25 is what it should be. Because, your brain doesn't really start developing or hasn't stopped developing rather until you're 25. But they're not going to go for that. That's not what they're about. They're all about fucking... they're all about fucking pushing down the voting age, putting up the drinking age, making people children for longer, but giving children the right to vote. Because the longer you can keep them fucking dependent on somebody else, the easier it is to transfer them into the welfare class. And the only people they want voting are the welfare class, because they can just simply say, we'll increase your welfare next year if you vote for us. And that's it. They can drop this whole fucking climate change facade. They can drop all of it just if they can get enough people on welfare. They can drop all that shit and just say, vote for me, free shit. And that's all it is. That's the whole point of these Green New Deals. That's the whole point of all this fucking faggotry. So where are we at now? National survey, blah, blah, blah. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Where was I? There it is. Losing my buttons. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what else the ABC has to offer. Right, so this is one that came up, I guess this is the one that came out tonight. Blah, 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 Q&A and blah, blah, blah. And, oh, have they completely pulled it from their fucking archives? I know they tried to pull it about international power. Panelist Smith says US ambassador nations, blah, 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 blah. Israeli Palmy. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. The Australian... So yeah, international power, Q&A. God, see, this is all just like, you know, how the white man is wrong. Like a specific island shit. I guarantee they're going on about fucking how, like, you know, we need to do more with climate change, because if you don't do more with climate change, our island is going to sink. Oh, according to the, you know, official records, your islands have actually been increasing in size due to sea levels going down there. Well, yeah, but like to ensure that they don't go up, money. Like you need to send up money, like lots and lots of money. Like that's all it is with these fucking islander faggots. All they want is fucking money. Okay, let's go episodes. Look at this fucking soy boy who runs the fucking thing. Oh, there's no left wing bias at the ABC. Look at this fucking, oh god, fucking low testosterone, embarrassingly short, fucking weak-chinned, no shoulder having fucking pansy queef faggot beta male. No, there's no left-wing bias. We're just all fucking, we only have faggots on. Yeah, climate and catastrophe. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Okay. Oh, maybe they've put it up. Here it is. The I'll just highlight the fucking thing here. Broadside, where they get a bunch of fucking women on to talk about the evils of white men and how evil white men are and everything. Editor's note. This is it. Here we go. Editor's note. The November 4th edition of Q&A, holy shit, it has been a month, is no longer available to view on ABC online platforms. The ABC acknowledges that this episode offended some viewers who interpret some of the panelists' statements as advocating violence. The ABC does not condone violence in any circumstance. For the record, the programming transcript remains available. Yeah, of course they want it like that, because they don't want context. See, if they wanted context, they wouldn't put out a transcript. They'd only put out the video, because the video gives you context. The fact that they're trying to change the attitude. They're trying to put out something that is, oh, Jesus Christ. And look, ladies and gentlemen, like, if you send your daughters to university, if you give your daughters feminist views, this is what all of them are going to look like. One form of this or another, this is what they're going to look like at 18. Like, pick any one of these, and they could be 18 years old, and the reason they look the way they do is straight up fucking feminism. Anywho, so they decided to pull that episode, but the dumb bitch with the stupid red hair that no one's hair color ever goes, like fucking Sideshow Bob, that dumb cunt, that worthless, dried up, barren whore, she decided to put the whole episode up on her YouTube channel, and I found just a slight clip thing from it. So let's just load this. Let's find it here. Oh, here we go.
Hello and welcome to Q&A. I'm Frank Kelly, and tonight we're in Melbourne collaborating with the Wheeler Centre's Broadside Festival. On our panel, anti-ageism author Ashton Applewhite, Egyptian...
Anti-ageism author Amantha Fizzlewhite, or whatever the fuck that was. What do you mean anti-ageism? What, because you're old and barren and nobody wants you? What, you think you should still be fucking cared about in society? No, you're a postmenopausal woman. The only people who care about you now are your offspring, your adult offspring. They're the people who care for you and look after you. Oh, what's that? You didn't have any? Well, you know. but I didn't have any, and you don't understand. It's so hard for me, and
You're fucking a white male!
yeah, and you're not, so you can't take care of yourself at the age of 50. So yeah, but no, it should be up to society because I pay taxes for all these years. The fact that I didn't have children shouldn't fucking matter.
That's what the bloody Marxists always say.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare I, indeed.
The ageism author Ashton Applewhite, Egyptian-American feminist Mona El-Tahawi, businesswoman and...
That was it. One was an author, the other is simply Egyptian-American feminist. Let's go back to that. Let's go back a little.
Anti-ageism author Ashton Applewhite, Egyptian-American feminist Mona El-Tahawi.
That's it. That's her entire job title, is that she is an Egyptian who now lives in America and she's a feminist. That's how she makes money for a living, people. That's her job title. Holy shit! At least the next person works in the business.
Businesswoman and social change agent
Business
Hannah
sector.
Asafiri.
Oh my god! Fucking tranny Elaine Bennis.
Indigenous screenwriter and activist Nayuka Gori.
All right, is that the guy from Axis of Awesome? You know what? I should pull that. Yeah, that might be him. Indigenous. Okay, let's go back a little. Hey, Robin. Fucking Howard. It's Howard Stern.
Indigenous screenwriter and activist Nayuka Gori, and Jess Hill, whose latest work is challenging old assumptions about male violence. Please.
Oh, some things about male violence, and I guarantee none of them are that it happens statistically more frequently in, lesbian couples. But hey, let's ignore that. That doesn't look good for the agenda.
Please welcome our panel.
Oh God, this is like when fucking QI got hosted by that fucking dyke bitch. It's just no, you're not Stephen Wright.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that too often the white experience, the white male experience generally, but the white experience overall is taken as the default. And I think that the rest of us...
What, you mean in predominantly white countries like the one you reside, the United States of America, you Ronald McDonald sideshow bob hair faggot?
Those of us who are not white, those of us who are not able...
You're white. You are basically fucking... How the hell... Hang on. Let's just go back on this guy. How the fucking hell does she not think she's white? Why? Because she's wearing, like, bad makeup? She just, automatically assumes that, she isn't fucking white? I mean...
those of us who are not white, those of us who are not able-bodied, those of us who are not men...
Able-bodied. Oh, okay, retarded.
Those of us who are not those defaults end up having... Those of us who are not those defaults...
I thought the bitch was white!
End up having to explain that this is not our experience. And I think, when I look at my family in Egypt, when I look at, it's very...
Yeah, how are things going over there for your fucking, non-fucking straight, non-fucking male fucking people over there, you clitless wonder.
Similar to what you're saying, that it's very rare.
Yes, it's very rare. Notice how I wear giant jewelry that clearly is worth nothing because it's simply plastic. That is all. It's just polished plastic. This is clearly worthless. That's how fucking dumb these women are. They see shit like that. This is the reason fucking dollar stores exist, because women are fucking stupid. They will see the shit where a man looks at that and goes, well, that costs 20 cents to manufacture under slave labor and has zero fucking quality value, whereas a woman looks at it and goes, oh, it's only $2. Dumb fucking bitch. And your fucking hands and wrists and your stupid fucking face are a result of exactly that mentality, you moronic cow.
Some families, because they're split by migration and work abroad and stuff, it's still very rare, but I think it's really important for white people to acknowledge this as their problem and take it learning from us.
It's
Okay.
also
I don't want to go on the
Mona,
famous.
how do we get institutions to...
See the other thing. Look, I just came in here to talk about indigenous feminism.
Acknowledge racism and do something about it. How do we hold people to account?
Well, you're asking the person here who travels the world to say fuck the patriarchy. So I think that what we have to do is start seriously talking about dismantling patriarchy. And when I talk about patriarchy, I'm talking about a white supremacist, capitalist, imperialist patriarchy.
Capitalist, yeah. You know what? Somebody was against the capitalist, imperialist patriarchy. Who was that again?
You're fascinating to talk to.
To quote black American feminist Bell Hooks, because what I'm hearing
boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Here is very similar to what's happening in the United States. But I also urge everyone to connect it to what so often in the news is portrayed as a problem in my country of birth, Egypt, where police brutality is connected to a fascist state or...
Yeah, because it's not capitalism. And the police here are connected to a fascist state because they're connected to the state. There's nothing free about it. Everyone's forced to pay for them. And they make laws onto themselves. So yeah, whenever you have the state involved, you're going to have a fascist state because the state, by nature, is fascist. You dumb cunt, you make money as a fucking feminist. Your skin color and the fact that you call yourself a feminist is your job. Your skin color is, and your gender, that's your job. And the only way that works is if you have the authority to demand money.
A militarist state. And so it's very easy for people to say, oh, look, well, the police beat Mona up in Egypt because, Egypt is a dictatorship. And you rarely make that connection between the dictatorship in Egypt and here in Australia, where you're ostensibly a democracy. But what you're talking about is the overwhelming power of the state. And that state is driven by a...
Oh, that pissed. Holy shit. Socialists don't like to hear that. The overwhelming power of the state. Oh, this is good.
White supremacist patriarchy.
Well, now it's white supremacist patriarchy.
Eyes have seen the glory of the trampling at the
of course, it's all people who look like me. Yep, this is exactly what's happening.
We're taking down the Zog machine, Jew by Jew by Jew.
Okay, she'd like this part, not that part.
When I look at your Prime Minister, when I look at Donald Trump, when I look at Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in Egypt, when I look at Bolsonaro, all of these men are patriarchal authoritarians at the heart.
No, they're men in power, in positions of authority. That does not make it a patriarchal authoritarianism. You fucking idiot.
Of the way that they rule is violence. And that violence depends, the violence is meted out to you depending on where in the hierarchy you belong.
That's what the bloody Marxists always say.
And so, if you're a woman, if you're queer, if you're of colour, if you're disabled, etc.
Yeah, you're none of those things by the way you look. Just, throwing that out there.
Etc.
Or queer.
So for me, I say patriarchy is like an octopus. The head of the octopus is misogyny. But the 8 tentacles are these things that we're talking about. So it would be...
Look at this guy.
Oh, I just came here to get laid. This chick sitting to me right on my left. Camera right. Thought she'd touch my dick if I came. If not, the one behind me. If not...
Look at this fucking creep.
Capitalism, it would be police brutality, it would be homophobia. All of these systems of oppression that privilege male dominance. Because we're talking about a very specifically male kind of violence. And again, according to the tentacles of the patriarchy. So for me...
She's just made this up. This is fucking... Scientology. This is L. Ron Hubbard shit. She's just said that it's an octopus with tentacles and everything stems from men. Holy shit.
We have to have a serious discussion. We have to dismantle patriarchy. Does that sound like a pipe dream? It has to be a reality.
It is a violent
because it's the year 2019.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more.
For those of us who use that calendar.
You're fascinating to
and we're
talk
still
to.
talking about people being beaten to death by the police. It's unconscionable. I
how
completely
dare
and
you.
utterly disagree with Barack Obama. Me too. I go...
Me too. He's half white and a man. You pack... Yeah, you absolute fucking pack of cunts. Wait, did I not have it? Yeah, anyway, okay, let's watch a bit more. Yeah, I didn't.
Online exactly to tell people to fuck off when they...
Hang on, I missed that.
Me too. I go online exactly to tell people to fuck off when they attack me.
That's exactly why I go online. To tell people to fuck off. I get called a troll. I get called all right. Why don't you?
And at this point,
What privilege do you have that I don't?
I will utter a language warning on the program.
No,
Physical
honestly,
appearance counts for nothing.
This idea of respectability, this idea of civility, this idea of unity, all of these words, decorum, who invented those words? Those words were invented by white men for the benefit of other white men.
You fucking whore. Yeah, that's it. Go home. Get my dinner ready.
In systems and institutions that were always designed to be for white men. And they weren't designed for women like you and me and so many others. Like you said, people of color and gender diverse people. They never imagined us in those spaces. And
How do you feel about homosexuality?
I find it disgusting.
we show up and we just ruin it for them. And so
How do you ruin it?
abide by the system. And Barack Obama was part of the system and remains part of the system. I also disagree with his wife when she says when they go low, we go high. No, I fucking don't.
Niggers!
If you go low, I'm going to come for you. So no, I do not have the luxury or the privilege to sit there and be civil with people who do not acknowledge my full humanity. I refuse, number one. Number two, there are so many voices who have found their platform on social media finally, after being the gatekeepers, refused to let us in for such a long time. I mean, I say...
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Include myself because I'm kind of in and out. But there are people who have never had...
What, the gatekeepers? You mean like the people like the fucking Lispy Queer from Vox, that fucking Carlos fucking, you know, whatever, parents don't belong in America, whatever that fucking faggot, you know, for Vox had to say where he wanted gatekeeping? Is that the people you mean? How like CNN want gatekeeping? How the network you're on wants gatekeeping, so only they have the right to put out information? Just like how when the Christchurch massacre happened, and it was a massacre, it was a tragedy, I in no way condone it. Just have to fucking, you know, throw that out there because...
You're fucking a white male!
So, you know, even if I bring it up, I'm seen as a fucking, you know...
You'd all be dead now if it wasn't my David.
Yeah, anywho, yeah, so the fact that, you know, the ABC and whatever their equivalent thing in fucking New Zealand is, wanted, you know, well, they succeeded in doing it in New Zealand, making the manifesto illegal to view, illegal to download, illegal to share, so that they could only put out the bits of it that they wanted that fit the narrative that they were trying to push. I think I bring it up on the old podcast. It might have been at the start of this one. I'm going to dig it up. I've got it on my computer and I don't give a fuck. I'll just run it through a VPN. So I won't be sharing it from Australia or New Zealand. And I will at some point go into that. And yeah, once I dig up the ABC articles, I've got it all saved somewhere. But yeah, the way they cherry pick pieces from that fucking manifesto is fucking like, ugh, absolutely fucking disgusting. But that's what they do.
Any platform. I'm thinking of young black feminists in the United States, indigenous feminists in the United States and Canada.
The whole world gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
Because I move back and forth between the US and Canada. There is one indigenous woman in Canada who every day tweets about missing and killed indigenous women in Canada. Nobody has bothered to find out what happened to them. In the United States, really incredibly successful campaigns have happened online because we refuse to be civil to those who don't recognize our humanity.
Oh, you mean like fucking...
I'll be honest with you.
So for those who say be
retarded.
civil, for those who say be polite, I have an entire chapter.
No, nobody's... Yeah, well, okay, yes, people are saying be civil. Yes, people are saying be polite. But they're also saying, just come at it with the facts. Come at it with actual statistics and not emotion. And nowhere in this fucking incoherent ranting have there been any facts, have there been anything other than emotion. And that's why nobody respects you. Because you're just purely emotional based. Just logic. Start with logic.
On the political importance of profanity. And I remind them of a Ugandan feminist called Dr. Stella Nyanzi, who was currently in prison in Uganda because she wrote a poem on Facebook wishing that the mother of the dictator of her country had poisoned him, that her birth canal had poisoned him during birth. And when she was taken to court and during her sentencing, she was videotaped in because she's known for her profanity. She stood there in the video, she took off her top, she jiggled her breasts, and she said, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you."
See, this, yeah, and look, there they all are. They're all laughing. They're all loving it because, you know, the patriarchy, a man would have grabbed his balls and said, "Fuck yeah, I pulled my tits out and did it." So, yeah, like, really? Like, all you're showing is you're irrational and emotional, just like the guy who has nothing to do but grab his balls and say, "Yeah, fuck your mother. Yeah, fuck you, and motherfuck. Yeah, fuck you and your mother, motherfuck. You know, I grab him testicles, show masculinity." Like, yeah, you're no better than that guy. Well done. You're just a fucking emotional-driven child. I've got boobies.
In court. Mona, I talked to you about this. Okay, you're watching. That's three.
He took my toy. She hit my bell. I want a potty. I want a cookie. I want to stay up. I want me. Mine. Now.
History. And I say this as that Egyptian American because, you know what?
Again, why does it matter that you're Egyptian American? Like, aren't you just a feminist woman? Why does that even matter? Why can't you just say as a person?
One part of me, Egypt, we began a revolution in 2011. And
yeah, that's really late to be beginning a revolution in your country to help women. You're not someone we should be listening to. You should be listening to us, you dumb cunt.
It's not gone very well, obviously. And the other part of me is the American, and we have this fascist fuck called Donald Trump as president.
How is he fascist?
And your prime minister here is a mini version of Donald Trump.
How?
Because we're talking about white supremacist capitalists, etc.
Okay, so all capitalism is white supremacist because everybody is treated equally, and we don't say that white people are better and therefore people who aren't white deserve a leg up because they're inferior. Apparently not viewing people as inferior and not viewing yourself as superior equals white supremacy. Yeah, go ahead, you fucking... Oh, God. You look like you refer to yourself as a fur mum. You look like you refer to your dogs as fur babies, but go on.
Etc. And we've got Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator. He wants to be able
How?
to do what the fascist president of my country of birth is doing. And when your prime minister, who is also a...
Yeah, what is that? Explain it. You don't say anything. You just skip right over it. And look at all these ugly, miserable women whose hair is the consistency of straw. It's like they're drained of life. Okay, Robin.
Christian evangelical, like Mike Pence in the United States.
Yeah, you're right. How dare there be a Christian evangelical? It should be an Islamic evangelical. You fucking idiot. Or an atheist evangelical. Or a fucking evangelical leftist who believes exactly what you are. An evangelical leftist. You believe that fucking, original sin, you call that white guilt. Like, it's a fucking religion onto itself. You think white people have to be forgiven for their original sin because they were born white? You're no better, you dumb bitch.
White evangelicals in the US voted for Trump. So you're on a parallel...
Yeah, so did working class blacks. Explain that, because, yeah, sure. Yeah, go on, go ahead. I would love to hear about all the working class black people who voted for Trump and how they're part of the white supremacy. This should be interesting. I'm guessing she's not even going to bring them up. She's going to stick to white Christians.
path here. When they start talking about the media as enemies of the people, when they start talking about banning boycotts, you have to start asking what is happening to your so-called
Banning boycotts. No, they mean don't fall for it and fight back against the boycott.
democracy. As young people and people of all ages, not just young people, are
running
rising up
streets,
against
racists
the
everywhere,
in
misogynist.
across the world. Chile, Hong Kong, Lebanon, Iraq. People are risking their lives for the sake of protest.
They're in Hong Kong. They're using pictures of Donald Trump. They're using the American flag. They're singing the Star-Spangled Banner because they want freedom of speech. They want capitalism. They want a free market. They want freedom from their government. You are advocating for the opposite.
And your ostensibly democratically elected prime minister wants to ban boycotts. Boycotts helped end apartheid in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
So ask yourself, where is he taking
And they
you?
test your boundaries as well. But, you know,
And they test your boundaries as
Mona,
well.
I'm just wondering, there's people, kids mostly on the streets in Hong Kong, young men and women in Iraq,
Lebanon,
in Lebanon.
Chile.
Is something different happening now? It isn't just social media or what are they, slacktivism. It's not that.
It's not.
It's people on the streets.
Yeah, they want freedom. They want freedom of expression. They want freedom of speech. They want freedom of religion. You want to tell people no religion unless it's the one you deem acceptable. You want to tell people no speech unless it's a speech you deem acceptable. You want to tell people no expression unless it's the expression that you deem acceptable. That is totalitarianism. That is authoritarianism. That is, is exactly, just like Antifa, you are exactly what you profess to be against.
I think what we're seeing happening across the world is the rise of two things. One is we're seeing these patriarchal authoritarians, as I've said, Bolsonaro in Brazil, Trump in the US, Scott Morrison here and others. And then we're also...
That's fighting back against your totalitarianism. Again, thou dost protest too much.
We're seeing a rise of people saying no. People saying we will resist. And
China. Why did you leave the people in China speaking out against people like you? Are you going to try and put the... See, this is what the ABC does. They try to put the Chinese fucking protesters, the Hong Kong protesters, so the anti-Chinese protesters, they try to put them on their side. Nothing could be further from the truth.
as a feminist, for me, feminism is the best kind of resistance to that patriarchal authoritarianism. Because when you see
feminism is authoritarianism,
they're rising
you dumb
up against
cunt.
corruption, they're rising up against capitalism, they're rising up.
No, they're not. The people in Hong Kong are saying we want a free market.
They're rising up against sectarianism. There was a women's protest on Sunday that was rising up.
Oh, she said sectarianism. She wants Islam.
Against patriarchy, sectarianism, and authoritarianism and corruption. So you're looking, and that's really essential. And I think the reason that we know about so many of them, and it's so invigorating to see, is because of social media, is because we're so connected in ways that we weren't in the past. But I salute each and every person that goes out on the streets and risks their lives, and people have been killed for rights that you take for granted.
Yeah, people in Hong Kong have been killed for rights you take for granted, like freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion.
So don't think that because your economy is doing well, but when you have a prime minister who wants...
Oh yes, because we don't want the economy to be doing well, because that means there are less people dependent on the state. Yeah, you claim to be against statism. Yeah, there it is.
The pockets of capitalist giants like coal mining. How can you be talking about coal as 16-year-old young women are on the street saying, what kind of world are you giving?
This is all you need to know about feminism. This fucking Access of Awesome dude is now a fucking voice for women. Jesus Christ.
So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing people who are saying, no, we deserve better.
This is a panel of fucking Hannah
against these
Gatsby's.
old white men mostly who are saying, no, we want to...
Old white men mostly. Really? And, okay, all those who aren't old white men, what might they be?
Keep our hands on everything.
Yeah,
and clearly you have to be on this side. That's what's changing.
It's not their age, it's not their race, it's their privilege.
Well, I think that a lot of them, it is the old men.
They are...
See?
No, it's about their privilege. They have privilege. Now she's going to go on to say it's white privilege.
Oh, they are indeed old men, and many are white, but that is because of the privilege that they have enjoyed their whole lives, that they are trying damn hard to hold on to, that is being threatened.
But also,
what privilege?
I have a great answer for this that a lot of people do not like. I want patriarchy to fear feminism. And there is a chapter in my book on violence. There is a chapter on my book about white women who voted for Trump and white women who accept crumbs from patriarchy because they allow their whiteness to trump their gender. I'm fully aware of this.
Okay, this is what this is what killed Oprah. Look at this fucking queef. Look at him. Oh, I'm here because I want to get laid. All these guys are creeps, and they think these fucking these miserable lesbians who are sitting around them are going to fucking give them a hand job. It's not going to happen, dude. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that, but God, look at this fucking guy. And yeah, like violence, and they're letting their whiteness trump their feminism, their gender, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's what fucking Oprah did. She put she put Barack Obama before Hillary Clinton in 2008, leading up to that election. She went with her race over her gender, and her fucking audience, all white women, went, no, we want you because you're about women, not because of race. And you went race. We don't like that. And now Oprah doesn't have a show anymore. You know, Dr. Phil and all the people like her spin-offs have shows, but there's no Oprah show anymore. But, you know, let's hear this fucking crazy cunt out. And look at this guy. Oh, my God.
But at the end of the day, even those white women have to recognize that nothing protects them from patriarchy. Nothing. For me, as a feminist, the most important thing is to destroy patriarchy. And all of this talk about how if you talk about violence, you're just becoming like the men.
Oh, yeah, for all the actual men out there, we meet every Tuesday at the Masons Hall.
Men, my question, so your question is a really important one, but I'm going to answer it with another question. How long must...
That is not answering a question. Hey, how much are you going to increase taxes by? Let me answer your question with a question. What value do you put on education? That's not what I asked. No, but I'm asking you now. Fucking... Yeah, she's a politician.
We wait for men and boys to stop murdering us, to stop beating us, and to stop raping us.
Stop importing Muslims.
How many rapists must we kill? Not the state, because I disagree with the death penalty, and I want to get rid of incarceration, and I'm with you on the police.
Okay, you want to get rid of the police, you want to get rid of incarceration, but you want to stop rape. Jesus, if only there was a country who had a way of doing that. Like, a constitutionally, I don't know, like a constitutional right to have an armed populace, you know, through a well-armed, you know, trained militia, or if only there was a country that allowed such a thing. You dumb bitch.
So, I want women themselves. As a woman, I'm asking, how many rapists must we kill until men stop raping us?
So, Mona...
All of them. There isn't a man who says don't kill rapists, except rapists, you dumb fucking cow.
Them's fighting words. Spectator Australia is already saying Mona's promoting violence.
She just did. She just fucking did. And this is what is, by the way, this is what apparently qualifies as, you know, unbiased ABC. This is something we should all, like, this is something my tax dollars should go towards, because it's completely unbiased and it's completely fucking, oh God. You know what, how long have I been going for on this episode? Okay, yeah, we've been going for a while. Let's go to our last fucking story here. Yeah, or should we go to... No, let's go to the last one. Why the fuck not? Yeah, okay, this will be the one to fucking end the podcast on as we come up on the 2 hour mark. And yeah, it's getting there. How the world has reacted. God fucking damn feminist. Anyway, how the world has reacted to the Uluru climbing ban. Right, so Ayers Rock, or Uluru as the traditional owners of the land, the Indigenous Australians call it. I'm going to call it Ayers Rock, not because I don't respect the Indigenous people. I refer to it as both, but when it comes to people who get if I suspect somebody's would be offended by calling it Ayers Rock, the white guy, the explorer who first gave it a name in, when Australia became a Western fucking country, the Western culture. And the guy Ayers, whatever, that's all I know about him. His name was Ayers. And they named it Ayers Rock, or his name was Air, I guess. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I just call it that because it bothers people. I genuinely don't give a shit either way. Media outlets around the world have been reacting to the Uluru climbing ban, with many readers reacting angrily to its treatment. So they want to ban people from climbing on a natural formation, and it's like banning people from fucking... there's a video here. Let's give it a go. Let's see what we get. It's gonna be... Yeah, okay. I don't give a shit about your fucking ads. Yeah, people want to ban climbing on it because it's sacred to them. And people are comparing it to fucking... No, what the fuck? Not again. Okay, video will play after ad. Yeah, so people are comparing, what if people wanted to climb the Vatican? It's not comparable. The Vatican was built. Ayers Rock, Uluru is a natural formation. Yeah, just because they both have spiritual significance, that's not the comparison. Are we getting any volume on this? Okay, this has nothing to do with it. Never mind. Actually, you know what? I might be able to just reload. And we might get somewhere with this. Uluru climbing ban now in place. Yeah. Are we going to play the video? No, we're going to
Mako is back at Macca's with favourites like the juicy beef or crispy chicken burgers.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't give a shit about McDonald's, you faggots. All right, go to the fucking video. Just play the fucking thing anyway. It's climbing on a rock.
Need a holiday, a fair dinkum holiday, in the land of wonder, the land down under.
The controversial ban on climbing Uluru is now in place.
It's not here to be climbed. It's here for you to come and actually appreciate and learn.
Yeah,
While
well,
the
I'm
exact
convinced
amount
by
you'll
you,
have to pay
you
out for
fucking
breaking
idiot.
the ban hasn't been announced. Fines could range up to $10,500.
Yeah, it's just a rock. You don't need to be
chains
there.
that scale the surface of Uluru
look,
have been removed.
not white people.
Along with paint and concrete lines from its surface. The new border has been set up around the site and will be regularly patrolled. The controversial decision to ban climbing Uluru ignited debate across the country.
Oh, look at that landscape.
I cannot walk down here.
As October 26 approached, a crazy rush of tourists was triggered, keen to climb the rock before they missed out.
Yeah.
The ban was due to a combination of factors, including both the safety of climbers and preserving the culture of the local Anangu people.
I feel sad why they keep climbing. Why they
you
go
make me
into
sad when they
the
climb.
sacred areas.
You know, my
Over
son
37
Tupac,
fatalities have been
he no
recorded
like
at
it
the rock.
neither.
In addition to a French woman's striptease filmed on top, other nudity, golfing and human waste coming off the rock into the water holes, driving away wildlife.
It's their church, so I don't want to go up there.
In 1985,
So you
the
don't go
Uluru
into a
Karajuda
church.
National Park was handed back to the Anangu
See, this
people,
is the atheist
and
thing.
the park board of
They view it
management
as
said it would work
religious, so I
towards
won't go
closure
near it, 'cause
once
to me
fewer
that's
than
evil
20%
and
of
wrong.
visitors were making the climb. That threshold was met in 2016, when more than 90% of visitors said they would not be climbing Uluru.
Yeah, they said they wouldn't because they were worried about the social justice activist who was performing the fucking survey for their whatever fucking, university they attend. That doesn't mean shit, you fucking faggots. Media outlets around the world have reacted to the permanent closure of the public access to Australia's most iconic landmark, Ayers Rock. Rangers at Sandstone Monolith close the climb. Decades-old tradition of visitors, both local and from around the world, at 4 p.m. Friday, after the ban was unanimously voted on in 2017, a new sign was set up at the base of the rock, no doubt costing the Australian taxpayers at least $1 million. Like, they had to be a committee on, like, you know, the font and colour of said font. Fucking assholes. It was notifying visitors the climb was permanently closed almost 34 years since the day the Inugu people, the traditional owners of the land, assuming that they were the ones who occupied the land and, you know, they'd won the most recent fucking turf war, you know, when treaties were settled. Yeah, traditional owners doesn't mean shit, just like in fucking... Yeah, just like in North America, Canada, it doesn't mean shit, traditional owners. It just means whatever warring tribe, you know, had a fucking foothold on that area at the time of colonization. These people did not like each other. Blah, 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 blah. Traditional owners of the land were handed back the title to Uluru as Rock. From today, climbing will be punishable by a $6,300 fine. Let's just make, like, people with the money are just going to do it and just pay the fine as a fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Like, dude. Yeah, if I had, like, okay, say, let's double it. Let's say if I just had 12 grand burning a hole in my pocket, I would absolutely waste half of it getting there. And it wouldn't even be that I could drive. Let's just say half of it getting there. And the other half on the fine. Yeah, half of it getting there and back, and the other half on the fucking fine. Because fuck you. If I had fuck you money, this is exactly something I would use fuck you money for. This is exactly, you know, the kind of fuck you I would use it for. Yeah, so that's that. You can't walk up a rock because it has spiritual meaning. And this isn't like the fucking Blarney Stone or whatever in fucking Ireland. No, this isn't like the Vatican, and people are trying to compare it to, like, the Vatican. They're trying to compare it to, like, everything like that. Oh, the New York Times commented on it. The Angus have asked people. And look, there's all the people walking up, and there we have the tweets. They have absolutely no shame. And this is from Princess Buttercup. See? Yeah, let's give everyone a voice. That's a great idea. Yeah, Princess Buttercup. They have absolutely no shame. This is what white privilege looks like in Australia. Despite the fact these are all Chinese, these are all fucking Asian people. The ban is, blah, 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 blah. Uluru, Australia, blah, 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 blah. The Irish Times, a little trail, blah, blah, blah. Look, climb up Australia's majestic Uluru. Like a little ants trail. Not for survival, not climbing up from floods or anything. Paying their way from their earnings to disrespect a sacred site. Oh. Who gives... It's not a... It's... God. Really? So if a kangaroo goes up there, do they fucking, like, you know, chase it down and, like, club it to death with fucking empty fucking wild turkey bottles, with empty fucking Woodstock bottles? Do they beat it to death with fucking, like, you know, tinnies? No. It's just a fucking rock. People are acting like it's not comparable to the Vatican or anything like that, because the Vatican was built by people. That's why you can't climb it, because it actually took people to build it, and people are maintaining it. I would like to see the crew of people who maintain Uluru from, you know, the very forces of nature that formed Uluru. There aren't any. This isn't the Sydney Harbour Bridge. In fact, the Sydney Harbour Bridge you can climb, because it was built by people. And when it's built by people, you get to decide whether or not it's safe to climb. By this logic, all rock climbing, all cliff climbing in Australia should be banned. But no, only on this one, because a bunch of people who claim, a bunch of people in fucking Snoop Dogg and fucking, you know, Tupac shirts decide, you know, a bunch of people in fucking NWA fucking tracky decks have decided they don't want it. And apparently they're the traditional owners because, well, they have the right skin color and they say so. Yeah, I'm not buying it. And it just goes on, blah, blah, blah. Australia this, meh. Yeah, see, there it is. It's just a giant fucking rock. Like, it used to be underwater and then sea levels dropped and closure of Uluru, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look, you can just take pictures of it from back here. Oh, look, here it is from back here. Good. Climbing this is from here is no different than climbing a church, temple, or other holy place. Nothing but selfish and crass. No, it's completely different. It's completely different because one is man-made, the other is just made by nature. Like, should you not be allowed to climb Mount Everest because fucking Tibetan monks consider it like a holy place? No, you're still allowed to climb it because they didn't fucking build it. Now, if it's on their land and they say, no, you can't climb it, and they put a fence around it because it's their land, they own it, fair enough. But no government funding, no taxpayer funding, because it's a natural fucking thing. It's just a fucking rock. You don't spend fucking money maintaining a rock because the rock is as nature intended it to be. So with the rains and the winds and, you know, the terrain shifts and that, the rock will change. Like I said, there aren't teams of people out there employed by the traditional owners to keep the rock looking exactly the same way so that none of the fucking contours or anything shifts and it changes how sacred it is. No, because they don't give a fuck. It's just a fucking power move, nothing more. You know, you can go walk about around the rock, but you can't go walking. But you can't go walk about up the rock. Go fuck yourself. How about you walk about the fuck off? And yeah, that's going to do for the, I guess, this podcast. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. I've never been to fucking Ayers Rock. I have no intention of climbing Ayers Rock. I just don't like being told where I can and can't walk on fucking land that isn't really owned by anybody. You know, it's Crown land. Go fuck yourself. I should be able to walk up there, pitch a tent, and camp out for the night and get pissed. As long as I don't leave any rubbish and I take everything I took up there back down with me, it should be perfectly fucking legal. That's my opinion, and yeah, again, it's just my opinion. And I am...
You're fucking a white male!
Absolutely correct, therefore my opinion counts for fucking nothing. And yeah, that is the podcast for this week, this day, this whatever. I don't know. I will catch you guys next time, and yeah, I guess... actually, you know what? I did have something to leave with this time. I'm going to start doing outro videos. In the spirit of Ayers Rock, in the spirit of Uluru, in the spirit of the indigenous people of this nation, I leave you, ladies and gentlemen... You can see I'm pandering for the video. Searching, whatever. In the spirit of Ayers Rock, in the spirit of the indigenous people, in the spirit of Uluru, the Dreamtime, and the tribal elders, I leave you with this.
My name is Fly Baba Waba Jabba Nunga. I'm back. Run, Gordon. It's the policeman. We gotta get up out this house. It's the policeman. Grab the bong, get my weed. It's the policeman. Move y'all, keep running from the policeman. Find me at the front, puffing on the body, man. Fuck these what time say. I'm sick of getting mine. Talking shit and getting lashed cause I'm tipsy. I gotta call my uncle, he love to come get me. You can find me out the front, fighting every kind. Off my head and I'm drunk, I leave a cigarette box. I never went to school so I can't talk much. But please watch, fellas, $10 for the box. When I roll up to your house, I'm only wearing one shoe. Leave a couple hours later, somehow I got two. It's like every single day I'm getting blazed off the buds. Then I'm feeling M&M from the pub and getting busted. Man, ain't nothing changed, call my knees up. Tell her I'm getting horny and I need a good fucking mirror book, a sniffing glue, getting caught and locked up in the pig. Let me go, I gotta get home to 14 kids, 9 sisters, 12 cousins, and I'm fucking a lot. Getting high, sitting stiff and fresh to pay the bus stops. I spent my last dollar, now I'm broke as a joke, bro. Gotta work today, do I beg for money or smoke stars? Fast the weather said, you think it's a crime, I get my meals from Similarly. I know most of the time the cops confiscate my stash, the bong and the drum. I don't fit the dress, and I can't get in the car. Only out the front, puffing on the bud, man. Fuck these what can't say. I think it get me hungry. Talking shit and getting bashed cause I'm tipsy. I gotta call my uncle, give love to come get me. He can find me out the front, fighting every cunt. Off my head and I'm drunk, I get the cigarette box. I never went to school, so I can't talk much. But please, white fella, spare $1 for the bus. Last week we mobbed some Asian kid and took all that cunt starty shit. Went to catch converters, hopped it in, come home 2 blocks and half a stick. 3 beers, 1 smoke each for the kids. So now we filthy fucking rich. Oh yeah, what's happening, cuz? My name is Flabba Baba Wabba Jabba Noonha. Jalen Grey, you faggot cunt. Wanna fuck with me, can't copy my shit, cunt. I'll make you skip, cunt. Fuck with me, I still got my cock in my cousin, Jimmy, give me the bong, Jimmy.